The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, says the implications of food insecurity extend beyond hunger as it affects health outcomes, diminishes the productivity of the labor force, and contributes to social and economic instability. He noted that food insecurity has long-term consequences, undermining the well-being of future generations and threatening national security, while noting that the government is determined to transform the agricultural landscape. Abubakar Kyari said it is impossible to do it alone without the support of the private sector. Strategic collaborations such as these are vital for sustainable solutions. Our agricultural sector faces numerous obstacles that limit its full potential. Climate change has intensified unpredictable weather patterns, leading to droughts and floods that devastate crops and threaten food supply chains. Speaking during the Food and Energy Security in Africa conference, which was put together by White and Case LP in collaboration with African Finance Corporation, Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, and Afrexim Bank in Lagos, the minister said the realization made President Bola Tinubu place agriculture on the front burner as a pathway to national food security and economic stability. He added that insecurity, particularly in rural farming communities, poses a significant threat to agricultural activities, displacing farmers and disrupting food production. Wow, I'd love to get your thoughts about this quickly, Chuba. And the economic situation of the country right now is something that has put everyone on the edge, and it's a thing of concern. You know, and then here we have about the food production. I don't know, how does this tally with insecurity? How does food tally with insecurity?
The truth cannot be overemphasized. The reality is that we have fake people all around our government. Like, we clearly all agreed at some point of the discussion that the major problem of the Nigerian state is poor leadership, and that is what it truly is. Ask yourself, a reasonable chunk of the Nigerian food basket region is being deviled by insecurity today, and little or nothing is being done to it. Sometime in 2019, in 2018, the Nigerian state spent ₦1 billion per day on security. That was the budget. And per day, that's to say 366 billion was put into security. What were they acquiring? Is it the equipment? Is it the gadgets? Is it the drones that should fly through the trenches or the forest, or is it the intelligence that they were trying to gather per day? And I make bold to say once again that those monies are yet to be accounted for. Fast forward to 2022, something transpired. One of the most reputable organizations in the world, Interpol, gave us a quick information that they had given the Nigerian state a list of supposed terrorist sponsors in Nigeria. And the federal government then, by additional speaking for the federal government, came out to tell the world that the Nigerian government would not be shaming such people publicly on account of the fact that they were doing something on the ground. That's to tell you what level of seriousness we place on both security and food. It's obvious that we have people who are just sharing this nation's patrimony at the comfort of their personal cocoons, and little or nothing can be done anymore, because if anything should be done, before long, when people protest, you find out that things are reversed from where it was to where it should be, or even brought even further lower. We saw a protest in 2012 that reversed the removal of subsidy, and we saw how the nation was running at the time. But today we saw the protest. After protesting, it went up. We protested again, it went up. And now the Nigerian people have come to realize that, listen, we have no voices. Protesting does not make anything change or work. This is a country who is being run on a mono economy. The Tantita Security Services came out sometime last year and gave the world a shocker that, listen, whether you like it or not, these are profiled names of companies and directors that have been stealing our national patrimony. The Tafocados terminal, they were showing the trunk line leading exactly the same size of the trunk that was producing product for Nigerian state, being produced privately and being run privately by people nobody knew at some point in time. That's to say, if Nigeria was making $1 billion a day, those people were making $1 billion a day for more than a decade. And in the light of this, they brought out profiled companies and gave it to the Nigerian state. What did the Nigerian government do about it? Absolutely nothing. Look at the Golden IPREP cleanup. How far has it really gone? With all the devastation of the water, the aquatic life, and much still traversing from there to other parts of the Niger Delta region, where aquatic life is almost been eroded. We talk about food security. Listen, whether we like it or we do not like it, today the average riverian boy does not think about fishing anymore as a source of livelihood. Everybody has to be there, be in government or do some other nefarious things to make
why do you think
work.
we have deviated from that line of thought to wanting to send back into government?
We applaud rogues, we applaud criminals in our country today. Look at it. Whether we like it or yes.
Are you trying to say that we don't accept good things? You said we applaud
The realities are what is staring us all in the face. Today, somebody lives in a 2-bedroom apartment and he becomes a commissioner tomorrow, or he becomes an House of Assembly member tomorrow, and in less than 9 months, he's not just living in a mansion, he's living in a street. He's going to buy a full street and start living well. And at the end of the day, you that is doing your little farming and was living your life in a quiet and comfortable manner, begin to see to it that whatever you are doing was a charade. Okay. So that is the kind of system that is equally causing insecurity in the country.
Let me hold your thought on that, but quickly I want to hear from you, Chief. We have from the north, there are lots of states that are farmers. They produce rice, beans, yam, what have you, and all of that. And then most of those foods that we consume here are gotten from there. And then we have the issue of insecurity affecting them at a stance. And I don't know, how does that affect the economy of the country?
Oh, very well. It does. The point is that if you're talking from a purely economic standpoint, you know that you must invest in areas where you have some advantage. You know, where your advantage is competitive. Now, I'm going to respond to the one whose comments we're analyzing.
Okay, you can also make a statement on that.
Frankly, we can, like lawyers say, you cannot build something on nothing. All right. Chuba said here, of course, that the middle belt is the food basket, or supposed to be the food basket of Nigeria. And thus far, under the guise of headers, farmers clash, which is something that is promoting, in my view, Fulani migration, we have done nothing about it. And so farmlands have been shut down. You get into your farm, they kill you. A governor in this country, the former governor in this country, ran from his farm, chased by Fulanis. He ran. You know? So, what we should be telling ourselves is the truth. And I think they expect us when we gather like this to speak truth to power. We cannot make any sense of food sufficiency if we do not address instability. Unfortunately, when you talk in terms of, there was a time many years ago, before the advent of oil, that we who are born around here belong to the Oil Rivers province. That was the time of the palm trees, palm kernels, palm oil. Today, we literally drink fuel. Our nostrils are blocked, as a result of unsafe practices, arising from the kind of, you have consistently said something about those who are refining crude. They are doing it, but the standards are poor, and we are all dying as a result. But I think that we should get to where food, the sufficiency that you attain in terms of food, is strength. Why am I saying strength? Because it reduces the cost of importation. Provides you that feeling that, because if you produce and it's sufficient, if you are going to rely on the force of demand and supply, when supply is much, what happens? Price will drop, because supply has far outstripped demand. Okay, but if marginally they are competing, and the cost of good food items will continue to go up. Now, but here, because we need to, that's what I'm saying, that we need to have a proper plan. When you have sufficient food and you have storage, you can store. Because again, there's a lot of waste. We produce perhaps the largest country of tomatoes in this country. most of it, over 50% of it is gone, waste. When you could have turned them to tomato puree and all kinds of things. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's encouraging anything. Okay? This man, there's one man, I don't know, what is that, who produces tomato paste? No, there's another, I think that somebody had to go to jail. He held a woman who tried to mess him up. Now they're saying the woman is in prison with Bele or something like that. You know, but the point I'm making is that his product was so run down by his own people that you wonder, even in countries where machinery is inferior, they try to produce. If you look at the Chinese example, what you are seeing there is an aggregate of producers who produce similar things, get them together, give to the distributor, who distributes, sells, and returns to all of them at their level based on like a cooperative, based on the way they produce. So I ask myself, what kind of economic books are we reading? Like somebody said here, you went to Harvard, the other one went to Oxford. All of them go back home. You see where Harvard is playing football at home properly. Then our own Harvard can't score a goal. You know, so that's the problem. But we should tell ourselves the truth that as a country, you know, in order not to, because you can even in water, you can be sabotaged. The food items that you are given, some of them have been under storage for more than 25 years. So they've lost value. You don't know what you are eating. So it's best. Look at the rice that we have in Nigeria. We have different varieties of rice, including long grain. And when you eat that rice, remove the stones. My dear, you can use palm oil. Just wrap it around.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask
your thoughts about that.